Welcome to my video of replacing old windows. It's old crank windows to new retrofit windows bought at Home Depot. Here we got the edges of the window in which the new window will go into. There's caulk around the edges here, so those edges need to be cut off clean so that we could pull that window out or push it out. And here too we got some caulk holding that window in together on top of some screws that are within the window frame. At first I take out this crank. From the years of paint, the screw slots are now covered entirely by paint, so I got one of my cheap screwdrivers and just cleared out those slots so I could pull out these screws a lot easier. Once they're clean, take them off and pry the crank off. Pushing the window in and out too. You'll see that it helps loosen that crank off of the paint that's caked on the bottom, the back, the screws, and everywhere. And use the little bear claw to knock out that paint. You'll see as I pull that window in, it'll free up that crank. The hinges I cut with a Sawzall, a carbide metal blade. Just cut right through it and took off that first frame of the window. And the second window I broke the glass after covering the interior with a good visqueen plastic so that I don't get the shards inside. But I recommend you breaking it first, because when you're trying to take that window off, you're going to break it. Anyways, behind the window frame and the windows, you got some screws. Now, depending on your window, you'll have 2 screws, 3 screws on the side, and then an additional 3 on the top and the bottom and the other side. Again, caked on paint, and here's this clay that they put on, some plastic they put on around the window that hide more screws. So you want to make sure you get all those screws cleared up. Clear up the slots again. This one was a Phillips, and once you clear it up, then take your screw gun and they come right off. At least mine's did. If not, then you're gonna have to chisel it off and manhandle it real good before you could actually take everything off. Again, here's that caulked edges that hold the window together. You want to cut those out, free it up as much as you can. If you don't, you're going to be struggling to take that thing apart. In fact, you probably won't be able to unless you pull out the entire window and frame. But yeah, cut this as much as you can. And when you cut it, you'll see the difference in pulling it off. It'll just come right off. It takes a little bit of time. Here I use a little pry bar, and then I cut the bottom lip with a Sawzall, and then again I use my multi-tool to cut the inside part where more caulk is holding that frame together. Once I get that out, vacuum, clean it up. Always try to clean up your workplace. Everyone's different. I like to work in a clean workplace and clean as you go. But clean it good. There's glass shards, so before I take off that plastic, I want to make sure I vacuum all those glass shards so it doesn't go into the house. Okay, here we got height and width. That is the measurement in which you want to order your rough measurement. When you take it to your window store, Home Depot, you're going to give them the rough measurement of the height and the width of the inside. Alright, and then you pre-drill your holes on the bottom there. You're going to have a bottom plastic seat that you need to cut out for your screws. That's going to be on the bottom and also on the top. And here anyway, we fit it in, we check it out, and I get the silicone. You want to get a window silicone to go all around the window, and you'll see where I put the silicone. I also put another bead around the window from the sides and on the top, and not the bottom, so if any water does get in, it'll be able to weep out. So here we go. We caulk the edge, top side, leave the bottom open. You'll caulk it from the inside. Okay, and then I caulk the outside edge. Anyways, now I screw all the screws into the window. I put 2 on top, 2 on bottom, 2 on each side. If it's a bigger window, you put more screws. But before you do that, you want to shim it out to the center. So these are the types of shims that you could use. I used a metal shim, and I used wedge shims on my other windows. I replaced a few other windows in this house. So that's why you see different videos from different windows that I got. But after you're done with that, on the inside, you foam everything up, every single edge, every opening, and then clean off the foam and then caulk around it. And I prefer not using a oil-based silicone. You want to use probably an acrylic caulk on the inside. That way it's a lot more easier to paint, a lot more easier to clean. Now once you do that, let it dry. I used a 20-minute caulk, and then I painted it right away. Sand, paint, clean it all. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe when you can. I'll have more videos coming up. Thanks again.